The narrative of psychology is a compelling saga of human inquiry, stretching from the ancient civilizations to the dynamic and diverse field it is today. It's a story of how humans have sought to understand the inner workings of their minds, behaviors, and emotions, evolving from philosophical speculation to a rigorous science. This journey reveals not just how psychology has changed, but also how our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe has grown. Join us as we traverse the epochs, from the philosophical debates of ancient Greece to the sophisticated multidisciplinary field of modern psychology. The Odyssey of psychology begins in the sun-drenched lands of ancient Greece, a cradle of civilization where the first systematic explorations of the mind and behavior took root. This era, marked by profound philosophical inquiry, laid the foundational stones upon which the vast edifice of psychology would be built. Socrates, with his probing questions and the Socratic method, emphasized the importance of introspection and self-knowledge. He famously declared, "Know thyself," urging individuals to explore the depths of their own minds. Socrates believed that understanding oneself was the key to wisdom and virtue, setting a precedent for the introspective techniques used in psychology. Plato, a student of Socrates, introduced the theory of forms, positing that the material world is a shadow of a more real and unchanging spiritual world. He applied this dualism to human psychology, proposing a tripartite model of the soul: the rational, the spirited, and the appetitive components. This model suggested that a harmonious soul, in which the rational part governs, leads to a just and virtuous life. Plato's work in the Republic on the ideal society also touches upon psychological principles of justice, education, and personality development. Aristotle, Plato's most famous student, took a more empirical and naturalistic approach to studying the mind. He is often considered the first to approach psychology as a science, though in a form vastly different from today's standards. In his treatise De Anima, On the Soul, Aristotle explored the psyche, which he defined as the essence of life that animates living beings. He proposed that the soul comprises three kinds of faculties: nutritive, growth and nutrition; sensitive, sensation and movement; and rational, thought and reflection. Aristotle's work laid the groundwork for later discussions on consciousness, memory, and learning. The contributions of these philosophers were not confined to abstract speculation, but were deeply connected to observable behavior and the functioning of society. For example, Aristotle's observations on memory, dreams, and the senses were precursors to later scientific research in these areas. He believed that knowledge comes from experience, a notion that echoes through the ages in the empirical methods of modern psychology. Moreover, the ethical considerations in their work, such as Plato's ideas on moral psychology and Aristotle's virtue ethics, have influenced psychological discussions on human behavior and the concept of the self. The intellectual ferment of ancient Greece provided a broad and enduring foundation for psychology. The philosophical inquiries of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle into the nature of knowledge, reality, and human existence sparked a curiosity that would evolve over millennia into the rich and diverse field of psychology. As the luminous legacy of ancient Greece dimmed with the fall of the Roman Empire, the center of intellectual activity shifted to the Arab world during the Middle Ages. This period, far from being a stagnant era for psychology, saw significant advancements through the integration of Greek philosophy with new insights. This synthesis laid important groundwork that would later flourish in the Renaissance, leading to critical shifts in the understanding of the mind and human behavior. In the Islamic Golden Age, scholars translated and expanded upon the works of ancient philosophers, blending these ideas with their own observations and cultural perspectives. Among the most influential of these scholars was Avicenna, a polymath whose Book of Healing delved into various fields, including psychology. Avicenna explored concepts such as memory, sleep, dreams, and even the treatment of mental illnesses. His work on the mind-body problem and the nature of the soul argued for a separation, yet interaction between the two, a concept that prefigured later debates in Western philosophy and psychology. During the Middle Ages, the Islamic Golden Age preserved and expanded upon Greek philosophy, with scholars like Avicenna integrating these ancient teachings with their own insights. Avicenna's Book of Healing explored memory, sleep, dreams, and mental health, laying the groundwork for future psychological inquiry by arguing for a mind-body interaction. This period was crucial for transmitting Greek philosophical ideas into the Renaissance. The Renaissance itself, marked by a resurgence in arts and sciences, was a pivotal era for psychology. René Descartes' famous dictum, "I think, therefore I am," emphasized the importance of thinking and consciousness, proposing a mind-body dualism that sparked future debates in psychology. His methodological skepticism and inquiries into consciousness and perception paved the way for the scientific method in psychology, highlighting the era's shift towards empirical evidence and observation. The contributions from the Middle Ages and Renaissance were instrumental in transitioning from philosophical speculation to the empirical approaches that characterize modern psychology. They maintained a continuity of ancient wisdom while advocating for observation and experimentation, setting the foundation for psychology to emerge as a distinct scientific discipline. The 19th century marked a transformative period in the history of psychology, witnessing its establishment as a distinct scientific field. This era introduced new methodologies and theoretical frameworks that significantly advanced our understanding of the human mind. The formal genesis of modern psychology can be traced back to 1879, when Wilhelm Wundt founded the first experimental psychology laboratory at the University of Leipzig, Germany. This event is often cited as the moment psychology became a distinct field of study. Wundt's lab focused on the analysis of sensations, feelings, and thoughts through introspection, a method where trained observers examined their own conscious experiences. Wundt's emphasis on experimental methods to study the processes of the mind laid the foundational principles for psychological research. In Vienna, Sigmund Freud developed psychoanalysis, a groundbreaking theory that emphasized the role of the unconscious mind in shaping behavior and personality. Freud's work introduced concepts such as the id, ego, and superego, along with defense mechanisms and the significance of childhood experiences. His approach to understanding psychological disorders through talk therapy revolutionized the field of mental health, offering insights into the complexity of human emotions and behaviors. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were characterized by the diversification of psychological thought, with these foundational theories providing new lenses through which to view the human psyche. This era set the stage for the subsequent development of various schools of thought and the expansion of psychology into a multidisciplinary field, which would evolve to become psychology as we know today. The 20th century catalyzed psychology's growth, introducing behaviorism, humanistic psychology, and cognitive psychology. These schools, emphasizing observable behavior, personal growth, and mental processes, respectively, have significantly shaped our understanding of human behavior and the mind, building on the empirical and theoretical foundations of early psychology. Today, psychology merges past insights with advancements in technology and neuroscience, moving towards integrated approaches that consider genetic, environmental, and cognitive factors. the integration of artificial intelligence and neuroimaging techniques promises to further our understanding of cognition and behavior, showcasing the field's evolution from its philosophical roots to a multidisciplinary science. As we look ahead, psychology's trajectory points towards deeper insights into the human condition, driven by technological innovation and interdisciplinary collaboration. This evolution underscores our continuous quest to decode the complexities of the mind and enhance human well-being, reflecting the dynamic and ever-expanding nature of psychological science.
Thanks for tuning into our video. If you're eager to dive deeper into the realms of psychology through narrated content covering topics from personality distinctions to mental disorders and fascinating historical cases, don't forget to subscribe. Stay connected for more insightful content. Appreciate your support and catch you in the next video. Goodbye.